So I think financial statements is the main thing that causes most people to get rejections for the UK visa. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Nomta or Ilo, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry about the quality if it's not that good. I'm using my phone camera. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about something very important. Today I'm going to be talking about the visa application process for the UK. So I'm not going to be telling you all the documents that you need, but I'm basically going to be telling you the main things that I feel like are main concern that you could have as a student if you are trying to come to the UK. So first of all, as an international student, depending on the country you're from, I'm from Zimbabwe, so obviously there was a need for stuff like the TB test. So the TB test is basically like the tuberculosis test, which I stressed out about a lot when I was about to go and have the test. It's valid for 3 months. Wait, I've got it. No, 6 months, sorry. It's actually 6 months because it's 29 July to 29 January. The first thing you need is like a TB test, right? So it's kind of like in a thick paper like this. This was mine, and you basically have to get it in Harare. That's if you're based there, it's easier for you. If you're not, I'm sorry. But anyways, you need to get a TB test, right? And this TB test is going to be valid for 6 months. And so you are praying that by the time you finish your whole application, you basically have you basically get the visa and everything like that. I'm trying to think of my situation because I had a bit of a longer process. I had a complication with my visa situation, but which is why I'm here to talk about it, so that you don't have to go through what I went through, right? So basically, once you get your TB test, I don't think you have to start with the TB test anyways. It's something that you need to do like last minute as possible, because obviously it's on a time ticking clock. But I don't think you would like get a denial until 6 months has expired. You see what I mean? So anyways, the first thing that you need obviously is to secure a university offer. And what I mean by a university offer is basically like an unconditional offer, because you can get a conditional offer for like university and you still need to show them your results later on. This is because the application process is a bit earlier, so you could get a conditional offer until your results come out, and then you get the unconditional offer. I personally recommend that route, but anyways, you do use this, you do you, bro. So anyways, once you get the unconditional offer, because you've shown the results, you will have to pay a deposit to the university. This is because they will not process your CAS until you've paid that amount, that deposit, right? So this deposit is normally like £2,000, 2,000 US dollars, or like 1,500 pounds. Well, it depends on the university that you're going to. So obviously there's that as well, which I'm going to talk about in a separate video, because I just want to do this uni series and finish with it. I'm not using my microphone, but I do hope my audio is audible enough. So anyways, you need that like £2,000 deposit that you will have to put aside, that you have to pay up front, and that deposit then goes into like your tuition fees. So it kind of like cancels out, but they need it before they can process a CAS. I think because like it's a sponsor license situation, there's a lot that they need to also be sure of before they offer you a CAS statement. So a CAS statement is a confirmation of acceptance of studies, and that statement is basically what you need when you're not applying for your UK visa. So you need to apply on ukgov.com, and that process is another process that like stresses you out. Especially for me, it was stressful because I had never done anything like that before, and I knew that like people could get rejections, and so it stressed me out, and what I feared did happen. But anyways, we're here today. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. So the point of the matter is, once you get the CAS statement from the university, right, this is from the student immigration team at the university, and normally before they even issue it out, sometimes they can ask you further questions to know if you're capable of paying that amount, or they just give you like some form of information of how much you need to show on your statements. Not necessarily the whole information, but they do give you like hints or links to where you can find more information on what you need to know before applying for your UK visa. So now I'm coming to the main thing, which is like the financial statements. So I think financial statements is the main thing that causes most people to get rejections for the UK visa. This is because you need to not only prove that you can afford the tuition fee, you need to also prove that you can afford living in the UK for a minimum of 9 months. right? So like, for example, I was searching now to just check if it's still in alignment with what it was when it was my time. So there's always going to be the expensive side, which is London. So if your university is based in London, you definitely have to show more capacity to handle yourself than you do if it's based in like Wales or some other places that are far away from London, right? Some other place that's not London, basically. So for example, my university was in Wales, so it meant I had to show less of like the financial capacity to handle my, you know, my cost of living, but it was still like around £1,023 a month. So calculate that and add 9 months to it on top of that cost of living, right? This is like lower compared to London, because London is £1,334 per month times 9 months. So now you add that on top of the tuition fees that you haven't paid. So they want to make sure that you've got enough tuition fee on your account as well as the cost of living. That's how you get a student visa, basically. So for me, I was fortunate enough that, you know, the tuition fee had already been fully covered, and so I only had to show my cost of living expenses. And this has to be your direct family member. If you're using like a company accounts, normally get rejected as quick as possible. Sorry, it's not funny. I'm sorry if you're going through a rejection letter. I faced a season of depression myself. But anyways, the point is you need your personal statements or like your parents' direct statements. So if it's your parent doing the statements, they also need to write a letter confirming that they are willing to be your sponsor throughout your duration in your studies, right? So the tuition that I'm talking about is the first year tuition, which is not that bad, but it's still bad. So tuition ranges around like £15,000 to like £20,000, depending on how difficult or how intense your course is. So basically that's what the visa process looks like. And for some universities, especially undergrad, I think it's easy to get help from the university. So if you are too scared to actually do it yourself, you can easily ask from the university for like an agent or assistance from an agent, and this is normally free of charge, which is what happened for me. And so when that happens, it's easier. They help you, basically tell you the exact amount that needs to be in your account, and there is the 28-day policy. So it means that amount needs to stay in your account for a minimum of 28 days. And there's also the health surcharge that you have to pay during your application, right? So this is a trick that I can say to you. Obviously I don't think it's a trick as such, but I remember being scared when I was applying, because in the same amount that I had at the time, this is long ago, right? So I hope it doesn't affect my life. So anyways, in the same amount that I had at the time for the visa application process, right, we had barely made it to we had barely made it to even like, you know, the statements being enough. And then we now had the health surcharge, which is part of the application process. So this is going to be expensive, obviously, because it's calculating your health for the 4 years or the 3 years, depending on how long your course is going to be. So it's calculating all of that, because health is free, so they say. And so if that is the case, then that means that you need to have paid for that cover yourself, so that whenever you step into an NHS hospital or whatever, that it's easier for you to just like, you know, to get the treatment. And so as a result, that amount, unfortunately for us, we had not calculated it outside of the already required amount. And so the good thing is you can just show your 28 days, even if afterwards you're going to withdraw the money, because you already have to upload those financial documents as evidence, right? And so you go to the Harare thingy to do your thumb check and your face check and everything like that. You know, that's all there is to know about the UK visa application process. So I do hope that has given you ease. And to be honest, if you've got the visa, you will know why, because the email will say a decision has been made about your application. If the email comes with a document, just know you didn't make it. Actually, if you didn't make it, they will send you an email that tells you that you didn't make it. So they have to explain why you didn't make it. So they'll send you an email, document and everything to explain that you didn't make it. So if your visa is within timelines like 2 weeks and it says a decision has been made, you got the visa, love. But if it doesn't say that, I am sorry. Of course, maybe things have changed, but for me, I've experienced both sides, and that was my experience. So I do hope that this video has kind of eased off all the tension in your spirit. And also I just think it's good to pray about it. Obviously I'll always add this, because for me it was such a season that taught me to rely on God. So I do hope that you pray about the situation as well. If you don't know where the funds are going to come from, if you don't know how you're going to make it, just pray to God. He knows your desire, and he will give you peace of mind, even if things don't go as you want them to. God forbid that happens. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope it gave you like some form of information that you needed, and feel free to comment below if you have any extra tips that you think will be so helpful for everyone else. Do share them down below. Thank you. See you again next time, but for now, bye.